New footage. VP Francia confronts Meghan live, on air over affair with her husband. The tension in the air was palpable as the camera lights glared and the audience held their collective breath. Vice President Alejandra Francia, her brow furrowed with a mix of anger and disbelief, leaned into the microphone and delivered the bombshell that would rock the nation. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. Meghan, we have irrefutable evidence that you have been carrying on an affair with my husband for months. How dare you betray me like this? Right here on national television. Her voice trembled with barely contained emotion as she stared down the celebrity talk show host, who sat across from her, mouth agape. Meghan's face drained of color as she scrambled to respond, desperately trying to maintain her composure. I have no idea what you're talking about, Alejandra. This is completely unfounded. I would never. Don't you dare lie to me. Vice President Francia interrupted, slamming her fist on the table. We have the surveillance footage, the phone records, everything. You thought you could keep this a secret, but you were wrong. The audience erupted in shocked murmurs, some gasping in disbelief at the unfolding drama. Meghan's publicist could be seen frantically whispering into her ear, no doubt urging her to defuse the situation. But Alejandra Francia was having none of it. You've destroyed my marriage, you homewrecker. And you, she said, turning to the talk show host. How dare you provide a platform for this adulteress to lie to the American people? The host, visibly flustered, tried to interject. Mrs. Vice President, I had no idea. Save it, Alejandra snapped. This interview is over. She stood up abruptly, her chair clattering to the floor behind her, and stormed off the set, leaving a stunned audience and a cowering Meghan in her wake. The fallout from this explosive confrontation would be felt for weeks, if not months, to come. Meghan's carefully cultivated public image lay in tatters, as the sordid details of her affair with the vice president's husband emerged. Tabloid headlines screamed of the sensational scandal, fueling public outrage and demands for accountability. Meanwhile, Alejandra Francia's political future hung in the balance. As the second highest-ranking official in the country, her integrity and judgment were now under intense scrutiny. Would she be able to weather this storm, or would the revelations prove too damaging to her career and reputation? The American people watched with bated breath, eager for more revelations and desperate to understand the full scope of the scandal. How deep did the deception go? Who else was involved? And most importantly, what would the ultimate consequences be for those at the center of this scandalous web? One thing was certain. This was a story that would captivate the nation for the foreseeable future. The fallout from this confrontation would ripple through the highest echelons of power, changing the political landscape and shattering the illusions of those who had once believed in the integrity of their leaders. As the cameras stopped rolling and the studio fell silent, Meghan sat alone, her carefully cultivated public persona in tatters. She knew that her life would never be the same. The damage had been done, and there was no going back. The American people, meanwhile, braced themselves for the storm that was yet to come. This was a scandal that would test the very foundations of their government and challenge their faith in the people they had entrusted to lead them. The road ahead would be long and arduous, but one thing was clear. The truth would eventually come to light, no matter how powerful the forces that sought to keep it hidden.